We'll go from a complete beginner chest workout through a progression to more and more advanced exercises. So you too can build a strong and impressive chest that can rival even your lady friends. I'm gonna assume you have at least one of those. So if you're ready, let's go and have some fun. Push-up progression starting with level number 0, assisted. Push-ups, knees on the ground. We're gonna turn our hands inwards and flare our elbows outwards, which is gonna put more pressure on our pectorals or chest musculature. Touch down with your chest, keep your body extended and reverse the movement. Pull your shoulders together at the very top and reverse. Very simple exercise and very easy to move on to level number 1. Raise your knees and we're gonna repeat the same process. A full range of motion would be our chest touching down all the way to the ground and reversing. Now we want to go into complete extension in our shoulders, so we have a very long range of motion and we are actively pulling our arms in to have more activation in our chest musculature. And we can put more pressure on our chest by bringing those hands together into a diamond shape and going once again all the way down, chest to the floor and all the way up. Now, while this adds a little bit more triceps dominance, we also have a lot of chest dominance at the very top by pushing our arms together, so we have complete flexion in our chest musculature. This moves us to some of the more advanced variations where we have a lot of lateral movement, which is gonna change the way we are flexing our pecs. Assisted archer pull-ups. One arm is completely extended, shoulder all the way down before we extend both arms and then we switch. Now we have an insane stretch in our pectorals at the lowest point and around our front delts. And we have a lot of strength requirements in both arms to keep this movement going dynamically. Typewriter push-ups, which means that instead of moving laterally down, we're gonna go all the way down in the middle and then we're gonna switch as close to the ground as possible and as low to the ground as possible before we move back to the middle and then all the way up. And once you're strong enough to work these exercises without assistance, you're once again gonna raise your knees and go for classic archer push-ups, all the way down, all the way up, and for classic typewriter push-ups, all the way down to the middle and lateral switches at the lowest point. Now, the amazing thing about these two exercises is that while they are push exercises, which means that they are usually very triceps dominant, these two variations have a lot of biceps inclusion through the pulling motion, which is not very common when it comes to push-ups and makes it an amazing bonus to have when you're working on your chest and triceps musculature. As for our fast twitch muscle fibers and explosive strength in rapid succession, classic explosive push-ups, staggered explosive push-ups, and for my more advanced, more confident friends here, explosive clapping push-ups. And even stronger, even more confident for the very last variation, explosive B2B push-ups. And this moves us to the dip bar. If you can stay completely upright in your upper body, then you're gonna have a lot of triceps activation with the tiniest bit of stretch in our pectorals. And once you start shifting your angle from fully upright to this, now we're gonna have a lot more chest inclusion and even more stretch in this position, reversing the entire movement. And at the top level, we wanna lengthen our shoulders as much as we can, actively pull those chest muscles together. Now, before we can move on to our next level of dips, we need to work on our stabilization and support musculature, TRX bands or gymnastic rings, and start holding support positions, meaning our arms are completely extended. We're gonna raise our legs, we're gonna close our arms, which means that we're actively flexing our chest to pull them together. We're gonna hold this support position for up to 30 seconds. We're gonna require all of that stabilization strength and that strength in those very tiny muscles for all the more advanced movement patterns. Extended arm support position. All we want to do is bend in our elbows outwards, lengthen our shoulders, go as low as we can, get that nice little stretch in our pecs and extend fully with rotation in our arms. Slowly bend Go as low as you can and in a controlled manner, extend all the way and pull your chest together. This very high demand of stabilization is gonna help us build a lot of strength in those tiny muscles that are very hard to target in general. Now we're also gonna have noticed that the jump from the dip bars to the TRX or the gymnastic rings is a very big one. So if you need a step in between, you can start working on push-ups with the same principle, using the TRX bands or the gymnastic rings, so you can start building that stabilization with much easier exercises. And once you get familiarized with the movement and once you feel more confident in this pattern, then you can start moving to the dips. Now, our next exercise is one of the most amazing chest builders. However, I would highly advise you to only work on this exercise if you have pretty nice mobility in your chest, because if you're really tight here, it can lead to injury or increase your injury risk. With our complete body extended and our arms open sideways, we want to start closing our arms together, keep them fully extended, flex our chest as much as we can. We want to keep them as extended as possible when opening up as well. Once again, we have a lot of stabilization here and we're gonna require a lot of strength. And once again, your angle in this movement is going to dictate how hard the exercise is. If you work a little bit more upright, like so, then you're gonna require less strength. And once again, once you're stronger and more confident in the movement, move back and go through the exact same pattern. Extend it, open up all the way and close up all the way. Whew. When it comes to the foundation, I would advise that you choose 2 to 4 different variations of push-ups. The most advanced ones you can do for more than 5 repetitions, and work your way up until you can do sets of 12 to 14 repetitions with each one of these variations, and 2 sets per exercise. So for instance, you have 2 sets of classic push-ups, 2 sets of archer push-ups, 2 sets of typewriter push-ups, and 2 sets of explosive classic push-ups. Once you advance, you can start adding some of the more advanced exercises, the classic dips on the dip bar and the opening and closing exercise, as well as the dips on the TRX or the gymnastic bands, and try working your way up to 12 to 14 repetitions with these ones too. And with all of that put together, you now have a complete calisthenics chest workout. As for frequency, once a week is okay, twice a week is very good, 3 times a week is perfect. Anything more than that will get you to the diminishing returns part. So stay away from over exaggerating when it comes to frequency. Over time, you will get stronger, you will get better, and you will advance. If you like the video and subscribe. And please guys, check out other videos on this channel. Captain Cairo, peace out.